Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to another transfer reaction show, news show. We'll call it a news show, is what it is, transfer news show. But it's a very interesting episode today because we're actually going to talk about a little bit of a deep dive into Barcelona's transfer strategy this summer, because it's very interesting in the way that they've done deals. And of course, we can't talk about Barcelona without having a Barcelona expert on the show. So you got Knayha back on the show, rocking a new look, as you can see. Knayha, welcome.
Thank you. It's been one of those summers where Barca is in the news every day. It's like there's been no day like some people have not been listening. They're signing somebody. They're talking to somebody. There are a lot of trips to Spain made by a lot of people as well.
Yeah,
and
there's been a lot
Barcelona.
that's happening, and we'll talk about all of it. Let's start off with this one because, quite frankly, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm bugged about it. I'm sure everybody is. We'll talk about Frenkie de Jong because that deal is sort of, I don't even know what the word is. It is gathering pace because, quite frankly, if it was gathering any more pace than it was supposedly was, it'd probably be off the tracks by now. The rate that it's going. But so apparently there is now a new fee that has been agreed. It is still 85 million euros, but it's now 75% as opposed to 65 plus 20. So that is what has been agreed. Now the question, but that, agreeing a fee with Barcelona was never the issue. The issue is always trying to get Frenkie out of the door. And it's almost like, it's like a, the analogy of a three-way. It's like almost like a three-way tug of war where one side is pulling, the other side is pushing. But then the one in the middle is like, well, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. As long as Frenkie doesn't want to go. So where are we at with this deal right now, Knayha?
So let's go with the math.
Mm-hmm.
So the 88 Barcelona basically owes, or the deal that's signed on a contract for 4 more. He's still in contract till 26. Frenkie de Jong has a contract till 2026 with Barcelona. The amount that is still on that deal is 88 million. And that's kind of including the 17 million that he owes, that Barcelona owes him on the salary side, because they've basically not been able to pay him, and then they still expect him to take a pay cut. So it's a 22 million euro net for Barcelona if Frenkie de Jong stays at Barcelona. Barcelona doesn't have that money. Simple. Let's be clear on that. That's kind of the basics. Barcelona don't have the money. Even if Frenkie de Jong takes a pay cut like Ousmane Dembele has taken, and he thinks about staying, he has to take a minimum of 60% to allow Barcelona to have still possibility of signing new players, which are still in the talk, and we will come to that as well. Barcelona, so no coach and no president can basically say publicly that I want this player to leave. Let's be very clear on that. So and no player will, knowing these facts, like if I owed you money and I want to now leave out of a binding contract, you will be like, why? I'm not letting you go. Give me my money and then I'll think about it. That's simple contract negotiation. So it basically, nothing is wrong. Frenkie de Jong is doing what anybody who has signed a contract and the other party is not keeping that contract would do. Basically say the right thing. Say basically, why should I leave? Why am I even considered of being leaving? I don't want to, I have a contract. I don't want to leave. Barcelona has now got themselves in a predicament where they're like, if he doesn't leave, we can't sign more players, and we need more players. We have already signed the replacement for Frenkie de Jong in some sense, like by signing 2 or 3 players, like the Kessie and Raphinha in a way. But then Barcelona still needs to find that money. Now, where does Manchester United why is it still sticking around? Manchester United basically knows the situation. And Frenkie de Jong has told this to Erik ten Hag himself, like, they owe me money. And I know Manchester, if I go to Manchester and say, give me 17 million more, they'll be like, we don't owe you that much. We have agreed a fee with Barcelona before 85 million, 75 million guaranteed and 10 add-ons. you figure it out how you want to get your money that's been pending with Barcelona. So that's the basic math. That's where the situation is. So it's pure, simple contractual agreements and arrangements that need to be met, not met. There has to be definitely a compromise somewhere in the middle, and that's where the deal is. So Manchester United will sign Frankie de Jong. There is no way Barcelona is going to keep Frankie de Jong for one more season. That's very clear. It's just like the timings of this, like when, because not just saying that he's out of the squad, like he's not even traveling. They're doing the preseason in States.
They leave tomorrow. That's
I think they'll leave. Yeah.
And apparently his shirt number has been given to Raphinha. No, Dembele. I'm not sure. It's one of them. Yeah, Dembele, I think, has got his or Raphinha. I don't know. He was 21 number. I think it's been given to somebody else. That's what I know. I can't remember who it is, but I think it was Raphinha. It might be Raphinha because that's how Laporta likes to do the middle fingers. You know, the three fingers, and then the middle one's for you. Like that. That's the one that he's giving. I can't remember who it is, but yeah, they're giving it, and yeah,
I think it's Raphinha.
It's Raphinha because he's giving it to a new player, and that's like the middle finger thing, right? Here you go.
Yeah, you're gone, like basically, like
yeah,
we don't even have your same shirt now.
Yeah, they're not just taking away shirt number, but giving it a new player, like basically saying to him, like this is how much I want you at the club, right?
Like take care, bye.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, but you know what? I don't blame Frankie for wanting to get his money out of it because, and even for wanting to stay if he's being owed that much, because apparently he's got to be paid like 450,000-500,000 euros a week from this point on. Apparently because of deferred salary. I mean, that's a lot of money to leave on the table for anybody. So exactly. I see no reason for him to say no. My issue, of course, as a United fan, is that they've just kind of put themselves into a position where they've got to get this deal done as well because they put so much time and investment into it. That they kind of stalled. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I mean, that's where we're at with FFP. So then that brings me to the other deals with Raphinha, Christensen. So if they owe Frankie de Jong this money, how are those deals getting done right now?
So that's kind of the tricky part. So that's where, so they're basically saying, so what does Frankie de Jong allow Barcelona to do? Basically, Barcelona is telling La Liga in some sense that we do not have these wages on our bills anymore, or on our books anymore. Frankie de Jong is gone. So this opens up this much money. And hence, once we break those, and so what's interesting is if nobody's signing a 1 year or 2 year deal, everybody's signing a 5-year deal. Everybody's basically till 27.
Except Dembele. Dembele is on a 2-year.
But Dembele is a renewed. So they're basically going to sell him next summer.
Yeah.
Like all the love is going to get lost because they know that they need some money, and Chelsea is going to come basically next season and be like, okay, how much do you want him for?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that's kind of the deal. So hence they basically are, so it's just financial engineering in that sense. Like they're just moving money in some sense and dealing with it.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people are talking about pay cuts, and I think that's where Knayha makes an interesting point because I said this. I think it's staggered payments. So where you start off low for the first season, but every season you kind of get incremented, and so by the end of your contract, you'll make more money staying at Barcelona than probably you would have made at Leeds, for example, with Raphinha's case.
Absolutely,
that's what I think is happening. So it feels like they're taking a pay cut. They're not. All that they're doing is that they're sort of taking staggered payments across.
But then you see that how much money they've, like if you just look at the players that they have signed for by paying somebody is only Raphinha.
Yeah.
They got Kessié for free, Christensen for free as well.
Yeah.
They've not paid anything. So then the staggered payment works. And then they signed Ousmane Dembele with a renewed contract as well. So I think that's the three that they've done till now.
Yeah.
And they're also still in talks with Lewandowski and
Alonso
and Azpilicueta as well. So, but then again, they're like this. They all have 1 year in the contract. Or Alonso has, and Azpilicueta has 1 year also under contract. So then they can still sign them in next year. So they basically can be like, okay, just warm the bench, because Tuchel has basically moved on from them, right? He's signing everybody. So he's basically, so Barcelona know that they can get 2 more players next season in the defense. But then, which is pretty weird because they have a very old defense then suddenly. But well, Barcelona can't do well there. So that's kind of how they're kind of functioning right now. But then the main part of the puzzle is Frankie de Jong. When he leaves, he gets in cash. So like, okay, Barcelona spent 58 plus 7 or for for Raphinha, right?
Yeah, so
So that's kind of
66, 67 million.
yeah, the total deal. Yeah, the
Yeah.
total deal. But then 58 guaranteed now, and 7 add-ons or something, or 10 add-ons or something.
Yeah.
So they'd get so Manchester United basically is paying for Raphinha plus 10 million. So on the wages.
They're paying the Frenkie de Jong's wages, basically.
Exactly. So basically, exactly. So in that sense, this is how the deal is kind of happening right now. Basically, they're saying that Frankie, when you leave, we get this much money, and this 10 million that we are saving from the Raphinha deal is your payment. That 17 million that's left, and then the 10 million add-ons that are guaranteed, we will pay you when we get them. It's not that we're going to keep them. So basically that's kind of, so in that sense, Barcelona doesn't have a Frankie problem, and they also got a player. Yeah. So that's Laporta kind of like, that's Laporta teaching people how to do business in the transfer market in a way.
Yeah, it probably is. Let's segue to talk about Azpilicueta, because that's one other interesting deal that's come out. Do Barcelona need him? I mean, let's forget about financials for a second, but do Barcelona need an engaging? I mean, I don't see his best position. I don't know what it is. Can he play as a right back anymore? I don't know. Can he do Barcelona play with a back three for him to be able to play right side of the back three? I don't know. I don't think he works in a back four, like as one of two defenders. I don't think he works there. But what's your impression of that? Do you think that's a deal that Barcelona need to be doing?
So I think Barcelona is trying to get as many Spanish players for some reason in. That's kind of, and like, yeah, Alonso and Azpilicueta in a way. Almost feels like they want some leadership, which is not Pique, basically, which is not Pique or Umtiti or players who are like old. They're basically saying that, okay, you are old, but we can get senior players which are older than you, but then they can do our bidding in that sense. So maybe that's kind of the way that they're thinking about it, because I feel that this is pretty odd. Like Azpilicueta deal was very odd to me, but it was nothing new that's been talked about. It's been talked about since January in a way. Like, yeah. Barcelona will go for them, and Azpilicueta will not renew his contract with Chelsea Football Club and so on and so forth. So I feel that they don't need him, but that's the only reason why I feel that he might, because Barcelona.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Barcelona don't really, they need a change of guard, and they can't go in the market to sign De Ligt or players which are the future superstars that are going to be. They don't have them. They don't have that financial superpower at this moment. But then they're not signing. These are not bad players. But then it's just basically Xavi kind of doing a, like, who's up available in a way, and then we'll figure out who to play with.
It's because like when you look at the left back, I can understand Marcos Alonso in a way, because I mean, beyond Alba, they don't really have anyone. I don't know if Dest can play there. I don't think he can really do that job, but maybe he can. But beyond Alba, they don't have anyone, so they may want some backup. On the right side, though, they do have obviously Sergio Roberto has signed a new contract, so he's an option there. They also have somebody else's name I'm forgetting, but they do have. I think they have 2 right backs already on the right. Maybe Dest plays right back, doesn't he?
Dest is right.
Right, Dest is right. So Dest is right, and then you've got Sergio Roberto. So you've got 2 there. On the left, you've only got Alba, so you probably want somebody to come in. So that makes sense that they want to get Marcos Alonso. It just doesn't, yeah. But Azpilicueta doesn't really. I mean, if he was a right back, he'll be a third choice right back at best, or it'll be a right centre back in a back 3 if they ever played that. But even then, they have enough right centre back. You would assume they have enough centre backs. With Pique and Pique, Araujo hopefully will come back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it could be they want to sell Dest for money as well. Like, it could be the fact that they because he's young, and people. I think there have been claims that Tottenham was interested, or he was, because Tottenham is selling Region in a way as well.
Yes, could be. I mean, but if he's a right back, Region is a left back, right?
Yeah, but then they wanted to, because Conte is again the one that he doesn't care whether he basically is like, if I want that, I can play him in that sense. I just make him play in that sense. So, but that could be one of the things as well, because Barcelona right now are kind of in that situation where they need. Of course, they're not selling Pedri. They're not selling Ansu
Gavi.
Fati.
Yeah,
They're not
Gavi.
selling Gavi as well. So they're 1 billion release clauses. They put a stamp on them in a way, basically saying that they're not for sale. But then Dest could be one of those players who goes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that seems that the only logical thing is maybe they're looking at selling somebody on, moving somebody on, or maybe they're switching to a back three and they want to have more depth in the center back. It's not a thing about it. They probably don't have enough center backs. Their Longley is gone. Not that he was very good, but yeah, maybe there's something there. And of course, what are your thoughts on Ousmane Dembele resigning? I mean, I spoke about earlier, but what do you think of the contract? I thought it was a shoot deal from Laporta in many ways, and he used it well. But what do you think of that deal?
I think it's again one of those deals where he's looking at signing him. He doesn't want him to lose for free. That's it. He's basically kind of tried to do anything and everything impossible just to sign him enough for like one more season where he can then start looking and telling his agent, it's time for you to find a new club.
I do think it saves money on a winger as well, because beyond Raphinha and Fati, they don't really have that many options. And Ferran Torres, of course.
Torres is there. Yeah, so
but they don't really have a right winger. But Torres and Fati will play left, and Raphinha will play right. I don't think they have anybody else who plays right. And so therefore Pedri sometimes has to play on the left because they have to play somebody on the right. So I think that allows them to have that depth in the side. That's what I thought. And so you get to play on basically less wages, and you don't have to pay a right winger to come in. It makes quite a bit of sense there. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, but then I feel that Barcelona is just so like that's the thing. Like this year when it goes, and when the transfer window closes, next year we'll have a similar situation. Unless they start kind of getting their finances right. And the best way to get finances right is start either they sell players or they get a new cash flow.
Yeah.
I think Barcelona needs Dembele to sign a new contract or now so that he can be sold to somebody in the next transfer window or maybe in January as well. So I won't be even surprised. A lot of people who are renewing their contracts kind of leaving for different places in January as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's possible. It's quite possible that happens. Yeah, it's one to keep an eye on, of course. But final question for you, Robert Lewandowski. Now, he wants to join Barcelona. He's apparently burned all of his bridges at Bayern Munich, it would seem. How likely is that deal going to happen? How likely do you think that that's going to happen?
Well, I feel that Raphinha has kind of shown the way as well, right? That if you're resilient enough, they will come for you. If you don't if you don't go to the blue side of London in a way, and because Chelsea is again bidding for Lewandowski as well.
Because they said they're not interested in a striker at the moment.
Yeah,
it's closed. I think
it's again kind of like these are like transfer tech just to kind of allow the prices to play down and so on and so forth, and just to give a. But there are a lot of backroom deals. I'm very sure that's happening right now with a lot of clubs for Lewandowski and even Cristiano Ronaldo in that sense. But then I feel that Barcelona just wants to kind of get players, but on their own terms. They're basically saying that this is the best we can offer. Either you take it or you don't. And then people are just saying that doesn't matter. I just wanted to play for Barcelona, and that's pretty strange. I've never heard a German player kind of doing what Lewandowski is doing in a way.
Well,
that's kind of but then playing in the Bundesliga in a way. I've not seen a lot of or heard of a lot of players kind of holding, and Bayern Munich is not that bad. Of course, they've not been doing good at Champions League, but then Barcelona has not been doing great at Champions League since last 2 years. So it's not that he's just trading for something else, but then it's just maybe a new experience, which allows. But I feel that I think they're asking for 40 million.
Yeah, that's the price. 40 million euros is what Bayern want. I don't think he's worth 40 million euros. To be honest, he's a world-class striker, but for somebody who is 34 in the last year of his contract, and the wages that he's going to cost, I don't think he's worth 40 million euros, to be honest. If anybody pays 40 million euros, they're being robbed. It's the man robbing them. That's what I think. But I don't know, maybe people in the comments or, who are watching this might have a different opinion. I just think that's way too much. That's extortion, 40 million.
I think it's not about the money that he gets. It's also about the image and the and the player that they
I mean, I
get.
know that they're pricing him out, and Bayern know it's extortion. That's why they put that price, because if anybody pays that, then they know that they've been robbed. So it's more about that fact that, well, who's stupid enough to pay 40 million for him, right? So that's probably what it is. I don't think Bayern realistically expect that valuation to be met. It's just that they know if anybody's doing that, then they're stupid and desperate enough. So let them do it, and that's what it is. They're pricing him out, as they say in the market.
Yeah. Let's see. But I feel that the deal, in my opinion, the deal it will close. It will close by the end of, because we still have a big. We have still some
6
time.
weeks. We have 6 weeks for the transfer window to close. I guess Barcelona will have a little more time anyway, because La Liga starts later. Than the leagues, so therefore that should give them time. It's one to keep an eye on though, for sure, because I don't see realistically what other options he has, Lewandowski, because if he doesn't want to go to the Premier League, then that only leaves him with Serie A, because PSG are not coming in for him. So because Mbappe will probably not want him. So yeah, that's fair. So he's only got Serie A or La Liga left to go. I don't think Serie A clubs can afford his wages on top of the transfer fee. So Juventus might have been able to, but I don't think Juventus are going to go for him, and they've already got Vlahovic. So that only leaves Barcelona or Real Madrid, and Madrid are not coming in for him. So therefore, I guess that's what it is. It's Barcelona, nothing really. And there's a corporate lesson for all of your kids out there: do not burn your bridges with your current employers, because sometimes you might have to go back to them if things don't work out. So, just saying. But yeah, I know what's going to happen with that. That'll be an interesting story to keep track of. Not one that's not mentioned much in the media these days, but to be honest, it's a fascinating story that's unfolding there in front of our eyes. Anyway, thank you so much, Knayha, for your time. I think this is an interesting discussion to get some insights into what's happening at Barcelona, because we've been trying to keep track, but apparently even agents don't know what's happening with Barcelona. So nobody knows. I think we try to decode some of the things that are going on, but I think there's still so much to unpack, and I'm sure there's a lot going to happen. To be honest, we don't know. There might be an announcement on Frenkie de Jong today. It could be tomorrow. I mean, they're kind of making clear that things are moving there. So, or at least they're trying to move it on their own. So we will see what happens there. But thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to have you. Special life for Knayha, by the way, on the show. If you enjoyed his insights there, always appreciate that. If you enjoyed this video, do remember to follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Like I said, lots of things happening, and there'll be lots of videos. We might do one more today, actually. We'll see what breaks. But I did say it was a bit of a Barcelona day. So, if anybody's thinking there's too much Barcelona, I warned you before. So, but hopefully won't be doing some for a while, unless something drastic or dramatic happens. We probably won't be doing one for a while. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And of course, we'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.